Last night, the Los Angeles Rams beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-24. Tom Brady was under pressure all night and looked off. Now, the easy thing to do would be to say, haha, the Buccaneers are overrated, Bruce Arians couldn't coach Pop Warner, and Brady is past his prime and washed. Or some combination of those three. And while some of those things are true, saying them takes away from the fact that the Rams are one of, if not the best team in the NFL. Going back to last year, everyone laughed at the Rams for giving up serious draft capital for Jalen Ramsey and signing Jared Goff for top money. The expectation was they'd revert to St. Louis Rams form and Sean McVay would be laughed at and exposed for the Jeff Fisher he truly was. I have no idea who those people were. But a year later, they're in the driver's seat of one of the best divisions in football and have one of the best built rosters in the league. Their quarterback, good. Their running backs, good. Nice little tandem they've got going on there. Might even be better than Gurley in terms of total production. Their wide receivers, really good. Cooper Kupp looked like he was on pace to break the single game receptions record in the first half last night. And then Robert Woods looked like he was going to break it if he had similar attention the first half as he did the second. Those two are really underrated and a great duo. The O-line, really good. The D-line, they've got the best player in football. It's Aaron Donald's word, and we're all just living in it. Linebackers, good. And as for their defensive backs, when opposing receivers line up against Jalen Ramsey, they are dragged down into a dark place. A place with constant pressure and fear. A place where 2 + 2 = 5, where only one person can make it out. Jalen Ramsey always makes it out. They don't have holes which can be exploited. Their defense limits the best offense in the league and forces them to turn the ball over. They've played elite quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, and Josh Allen this year. And in those games, they have turned the ball over 7 times from the quarterbacks while only allowing 6 passing touchdowns. The only team which I think is a good matchup for them is the Saints. And we all know how Saints-Rams games go. Immense credit goes to Sean McVay for maximizing this team's potential. He's got talent and he's working with it. The Rams are one of the top dogs in the NFC and are the team to beat in the West, even if their uniforms are still god-awful. But that's enough for me. Tristan, go on your little rant about how terrible Tom Brady is.
Well, did you just call the Bucs the best offense in the NFL?
One of the best offenses in the NFL.
I don't know. It sounded like you said they were the best, and they're good, but they're not that great. And first, I'll address the Rams since I was very wrong about the Rams leading into this season. I'm surprised Isaiah didn't bully me a little bit more. Granted, he wasn't as high on them either prior to the season. I vastly underestimated Sean McVay. I thought their offense wouldn't be that special. Goff would continue to be mediocre. And I thought their defense wouldn't wind up being top 5 in every category like they are right now. They have been extremely impressive with pre-snap misdirection. The quality of their trio of running backs has been phenomenal. Their ability to game plan from week to week has been impressive. They put on display last night, while I also think and agree with Isaiah, that they are the most well-rounded team in the NFC West. They hung with the Bucs' elite offense. Good offense. I don't think they're the best, but it is very good. And they consistently put pressure in Brady's face, not allowing him to step up in the pocket. They defended the run extremely well. If this is the Seahawks or if this is the Cardinals playing the Bucs, they are giving up a ton more points than the Rams defense did. The Rams do have a harder remaining schedule than the rest of the NFC West. So if they don't finish at the top of the division, they'll definitely make the playoffs as a wild card. Now, addressing the Buccaneers and what I took away from them in this game. At what point do you acknowledge that Tom Brady is still a good quarterback, but he's simply not elite anymore? You put pressure on Tom Brady and his production drops drastically. As I just said, the Rams consistently pushed Brady back in the pocket, and even if they weren't getting a hit on him, Brady simply couldn't handle it. On his offense, Antonio Brown will likely be a future Hall of Famer. Gronk will be a future Hall of Famer.
No, Antonio Brown won't. He screwed up his Hall of Fame case. Stop that.
I mean, he's had a Hall of Fame career. You can definitely acknowledge that. And if Mike Evans continues his string of impressive seasons, there's a very good chance he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Stop that too.
What are you talking
about now? Mike Evans isn't a Hall of Famer. Get out of here, man.
You don't know.
I might give you Brown, but you're nuts.
I didn't say he's a Hall of Famer. I said if he continues his production, he's a Hall of Famer. And stop cutting me off, especially when you have
saying crazy things.
6,000-yard seasons in a row, a lot of touchdowns, one of the best red zone threats in the NFL in the
He's
last
never
6
been
years.
one of the 3 best receivers in the NFL.
Stop.
He's never been close to that.
He's one of the only receivers. I mean, he's not going to get 1,000 this year, but he's going to finish with 15 or 16 touchdowns. Anyway, stop interrupting me because you are very wrong when it comes to that. I said if he continues the string. I didn't say he's a Hall of Famer right now, so just stop because you're wrong. Chris Godwin is a Pro Bowler. Leonard Fournette is a former Pro Bowler. And there is a good chance Ronald Jones gets a shot at the Pro Bowl this year. Not saying it's guaranteed, but it could happen. And with the GOAT at quarterback and all these weapons around him, he should be putting up 35 points to 40 points a game, and that isn't happening. They are not doing that. Brady's 2 interceptions last night are interceptions you expect to see from someone like Jake Luton or Carson Wentz. They were horrible passes. I have no idea where he was trying to throw to Godwin on the first one, and he completely sailed the pass to Gronk on the last drive. His collective career makes him the GOAT, but with the talent he has around him, he needs to be producing more. The Bucs are a good team, don't get me wrong, but there are several teams better than them right now in the NFL.
I'm just trying not to go back to the wide receiver thing because of how nuts you are about Mike Evans. But look, Tom Brady, you acknowledge it several times. I think you finally get it after the years of psychological torment from him. He's the best quarterback of all time. He's pretty late into his career, and he plays in an offensive system which is one to turn the ball over, but I won't defend those 2 interceptions. They weren't good. I still wouldn't bet against him come playoff time because Tom Brady has shown me enough times how bad of an idea that is. But focusing on the Buccaneers really does feel like it's taking away from the Rams. Like, they conceivably could win out or only lose 1 game, sneak in as they might get the bye. They could conceivably get a first round bye, assuming the Saints fall apart with Taysom Hill. There you go. You got anything else you want to add?
Well, I mean, I just would like to say, if Mike Evans has a 13-year career and continues on the same pace as far as receiving yards go, he finishes top 10 all-time in receiving yards. So I just want to put that out there to say I'm not crazy to say if he continues on this pace, he could wind up being a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you're still crazy. Look at the Hall of Famers who aren't in the Hall of Fame. Look at the guys who aren't in the Hall of Fame. Look at the guys who are. I'm looking at the Hall of Fame right now. He's not better than Larry Fitzgerald. He's not who is a guaranteed Hall of Famer. The only one I'd say is a sure thing in the league besides Julio Jones. He's not better than Julio. He's not better than Hopkins. He's not better than Adams. He's not better than Thomas. He's not even better than Brown if you want to look at his career, ignoring the extracurriculars. And I'm sorry, if you're the 5th or 6th best guy in your position for the majority of career, you are not a Hall of Fame wide receiver. It's plain and simple.
Or was he just underappreciated because he had famous Jameis throwing him?
Jameis Winston is good for wide receivers. Like, I don't know how that's a hard concept to get. He threw for 5,000 passing yards and 33 touchdowns. He would help you if you were a wide receiver. You deal with the interception. In a Bruce Arians system, though, you're going to put up numbers.
And also, of the receivers that are top 10 all time, only 3 are not in the Hall of Fame. We know Larry Fitzgerald will be in the Hall of Fame. Steve Smith, he retired in 2016. How many years is it until you can go on the ballot?
I believe 5.
So he hasn't been on the ballot yet. And Reggie Wayne has only been on the ballot once. And we know Reggie Wayne will probably wind up being a Hall of Famer. Same with Andre Johnson, who's 11. I'm just saying if he continues
it's not
on
happening,
pace,
Tristan.
That's all I was saying. It wasn't that hot of a take. I didn't say he's a Hall of Famer right now. If his career ended tomorrow, he's not going to the Hall of Fame.
The over-exaggeration of Tom Brady's receiving help is not necessary.
It's not an
over-exaggeration. It's still one of, if not the best in the league, but you don't need to be talking about him having 3 Hall of Famers. But we're talking about the same things over and over again. Tom Brady's best quarterback of all time. Rams are going to the NFC Championship game. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think down in the comments below.